How are we doing? Our Facebook family, David Allen Capital. I think we're live. We're live. Let's roll. Give me a beautiful. Rocio, you're here first, so that means we're live. We're all Daniel, Lions Den. Love it, love it, love it. Kendrick, beautiful. We got some people pumping in live, so that means we can go. This is what I want to talk about today, advertising, and then take some Q&A. But as always, most of the time this gets watched in a video form. So people plug on and see what it is, and then they watch it later. So I'm going to get right down to it. Let's not forget something, folks. There's business owners all over in your community, all over right now. They got great minds. They left jobs. They took risks. They opened businesses. They already put their house on the line. They've already got home equity loans. They make payroll for their teams or buy product rather than paying their car payment. I mean, this is a business owner's mindset. Until they make it, 9 out of 10 businesses don't become profitable. Most of them aren't still in business 10 years later, and usually it's because of capital. Well, here we are, folks. We're the ones coming forward, bringing them capital. The big banks aren't fixing the solution. The big banks aren't doing it. Big banks are great for what they're good at, but they're not designed to support the business owner. That's why our community, this alternative business capital space, started about just over 10 years ago, and we're coming to kind of clean it up a little bit. There's already great things, and now we're improving it, and you're improving it. We are helping business owners. That's what we're here to do. Our job is to support and help business owners, give them the fuel, the capital to grow their business. And everywhere around you right now, there's business owners. 30% of them need capital right now just because they're hurting financially. 30%. And you're not talking to them. Maybe you are, but most people aren't talking to them. So 30% need capital. Another 30% have an opportunity right now they would go for if they had capital, but they don't know capital exists. They don't know alternative capital exists. So they're considering, what can they do? How do they do it? How do they get creative? Should they bring on a partner, right? They're getting all these things. If I could do this or this or this with my business. That's what they're thinking, folks. And here you are. You're a solution. You're not selling anything. Your job is simple. Those 30% who need now and those 30% who don't need now but have opportunities so they could use now. So you got need, opportunity. 60% of the people out there, business owners, they need to know about you. You need to meet, greet, and inform and let them know you are a connection, a connector to alternative capital providers. Over 40 of them we represent. One stop, free application, no obligation. Come on now. One stop, free application, no obligation to take the offer we find for them. Let us go to work for them. Get the word out. That's what we do at David Allen Capital. That's all we do. It's really that simple. Get the word out. Don't walk by a business. Don't meet it. Don't see a business owner truck drive by. You see a woman drive by that says 2 moms and a mop. Pick up the phone and call and introduce yourself to the owner. You see a landscape company drive by. Call the number. Pick up the phone. Introduce yourself to the owner. Folks, there's business owners all around you. So before we talk about advertising, let's talk about how you can support. You are an educator. You are a connector. You don't have to have all the answers yet. Go through our training before you call anyone, but go through the training. That'll give you enough of the answers. What does it cost? This is where you're going to get asked. Can I really get approved? Well, if you have the cash flow, if you have a FICO score, you doing over 100 grand? Probably 80% of the time, yeah. Well, what does it cost? That's the other question you're going to get. We cover in training how to cover that. There's 2 different ways. One is tell them what it costs. We're not going to tell you confusing rates. It's going to cost you between 1.2 and 1.5 times what you borrow. Borrow 100 grand, you're going to pay back 120 to 150. Borrow 10, you're going to pay back 12 to 15. I mean, you could just answer right up. And if they say that's too expensive, they don't have an opportunity. Or you could say, what? Well, that depends on the package. It depends on a lot of things. Why? Do you have an opportunity you'd pursue right now? Yeah. What would you do? What do you need? Well, I need 25 grand. Really, if we got you 25 grand, what would you do with that 25 grand? Right? So we cover this in training. Well, I would take that 25 grand and I would turn it into 100 grand. Okay, so if we can get you 25 grand, does it matter what it costs you? You're going to turn it into 100, right? Let's say it costs you, worst case, multiply it, 25 times 1.2 to 1.5. That's your range, right? 1.2 would be 5,000 in interest. So you're going to pay back between 30 and what's the other one? 1.5 times 25 is 12,000, 37. So you're going to pay back between 30 and 37,000, somewhere in there. But if you're going to turn it into 100, it doesn't matter that it costs you 7 to 15 grand or 7 to 12 grand in interest. No. Yeah, it does matter. Okay, then we're not for you. So those are the two big questions. Can I really get approved? And how much does it cost? And we just talked about how to do it. So the training will cover that in detail. Once you've got that and all the other stuff, then it's your job to meet, greet, and inform, which means put them on notice that capital does exist and you're their source. Put them on notice capital exists and you're their source. I just went to a networking meeting this morning. I think I mentioned that on this training already, but on this streaming. And there was, 30 business owners. And they give you 2 minutes to tell your spiel. And I did my spiel, and someone came up and said, hey, I've got a doctor who's looking to buy into a practice. Is there any way you can get them capital for a personal loan? I said, no, we can't do a personal loan. We can't. If we want to get the business a loan, we can get the business a loan that they can use for personal needs, but they can't do a business loan. But the bottom line is all those people got educated that alternative capital exists. It doesn't matter whether they get a client now. Cards are going all over the place because in time, they're going to say, hey, remember that guy? What is it, David Allen Capital? He gave us our card. So they're going to say the same thing about you. So advertising starts with you. It doesn't start with where you place an ads, how much you spend in, are the ads compliant? It starts with you being a promoter of your business. Now you may say, well, Dave, I'm limited. I can't do that. I'm limited to my home. Okay, well, you have a telephone, right? I'm limited to my home. Okay, you have the internet. So there are other ways you can meet, greet, and inform. It doesn't have to be walking into a business. However, those postcards, walking into a business, have proven to be the best tools. So we encourage you, get the drop cards. And if you had a choice, business cards or drop cards, I say get the drop cards all day long. They're the most inexpensive way to advertise. You don't need to pay for any advertising, and guess what? They're all compliant. Okay, so let's talk about advertising real quick. Advertising in the traditional sense is what? To bring awareness and create a call to action. Well, a call to action is what? Someone calling you, so now you're talking to them on the phone anyway, or going to your website and filling out the pre-qualification form, right? So that's what you advertise for, right? You're advertising for that. Well, someone calling you, you got to be able to take their calls. A lot of our agents can't take their calls whenever they call, and because they say they can't even make outbound calls. Well, I don't have time to be on the phone. Okay. Well, if you're going to attract inbound calls, you better be ready to take that call immediately, because they're not going to call and leave a voicemail, wait 3 days. They're not going to wait for you to call back 3 hours later. They want to talk to someone right now. Just like you, when you call a business, you want to talk to someone now. When you call the bank to talk about a mortgage, you don't want to, I'll call you back tomorrow. No, I need to ask questions right now to find out. I'm making decisions. So if you're going to advertise, make sure if you advertise, first of all, it's compliant with us. You don't use our name anywhere on that advertisement, anywhere. If you use our logo, it says independent agent and you pulled it from the Agent Resource Center. And if you use our logo and it says independent agent, we must approve it before you put it live. We have to approve it. You need to send that to support@davidallencapital.com. In the subject line, just put advertisement, approve it. Count on 2 weeks before it's replied to you. We encourage you not to inundate us with these, because it is not our priority to legally read advertisements. We're not here to protect you. We're here to protect ourselves. We will tell you if you're doing something wrong, but we don't have a legal team that's going to read your ads for you to make sure you're doing it legal. That's not our job. It's your job. I say don't advertise unless you've got sophistication and understanding. Now, can you advertise on Facebook and can you advertise on Google and try those things? Sure. But again, if you mention our name anywhere, we must approve it first. Okay, so the easiest thing is don't mention our name. Simple and fast business capital, click here. You don't have to get approval on that because you didn't mention our name, right? But if you mention our name, David Allen Capital, anywhere, it must every time say independent agent. And if you use a logo, it must be from the Agent Resource Center. You cannot pull a screenshot of our website and go, well, it's on your website. No, that's our corporate site. Our corporate site, we can do what we want. We're liable for what we put there. You go advertise the corporate, take a screenshot and put it up somewhere in a newspaper or something, and with your number, they think you're a corporate officer. We now are liable for what you say and do if they call you. Okay, so we must protect that. You must say independent agent. We do not take this lightly because we have thousands of agents who could inadvertently make a mistake. So when we contact and say, hey, if we find out someone's violating the advertising things, we tell them they're violating it, and we tell them it must be fixed immediately or they're going to lose their agency status. And we got to shut off their websites. We don't want to do that. It's because they don't know. But it's your job as team leaders, as if you're going to recruit someone, you got to know what you're recruiting them into. There's rules. They can't just advertise. Okay? If they're going to advertise, just like you can't work for Nike and advertise in the newspaper that you're a Nike employee. Nike's got to approve it. If they're going to put their logo anywhere, they got to approve it. It's common sense, right? So don't think because you're an independent agent, you can go market our DAC stuff anywhere you want without our approval. We have brochures in the Agent Resource Center. Use them all you want. Use them all you want. We have postcards from My DAC Tools. Use them all you want. Business cards, use them all you want. We have a website, promote to it. We have an independent agent logo. If you want to put on the bottom of your email signature, David Rutz or Lisa Liu, independent agent, David Allen Capital, and put a picture of our DAC independent agent logo, go for it. It says independent agent, it's a logo. But if you're going to advertise something, we need to approve it if you're using our name or our logo, or even if it says independent agent on it. Because like we had one agent, maybe watching right now, inadvertently said no credit check. He misunderstood the training, thought there's no credit check. No, there is a credit check. Even if we don't do a hard credit pull, there is still a credit check. It's a soft pull, 100% of the time. You can't give someone money without knowing their credit score. Now, it's not a hard pull inquiry that can lower their credit rating, but if we don't get them approved at the first few, we do a hard pull, and the application says we're going to do a hard pull if we need to. So to advertise that way is going to get that agent in trouble and get people upset with us because David Allen Capital, you don't do credit pulls. Where does it say that? Your application says it. That advertisement out there with David Allen Capital logo on it and linked to your website said no credit pull. See what I mean? See how all of a sudden that agent's at risk and we're at risk, which makes your opportunity at risk because someone decided to be creative and say no credit check, trying to attract more people. We don't sell this. Do not sell, oversell this product. You're only setting up expectations. You know how many times we bring a client all the way to the end and they go, 1.2 times what I borrow. My agent told me this would be 4%. What? My agent said this would be 4 to 5% like a mortgage. And you're telling me I got to pay back $13,000 on $10,000? 4% would only be $400. Not $3,000. Okay, well, no one's going to give you 4% collateral free money. It doesn't, even your mortgage doesn't. Your mortgage is giving you 4% over 30 years. Do the math, it's 98% on the low end. 1.9 or 2.1 times what you borrow is what you're paying at 4%, really. So they'll say 4%, but you're not paying 4%. So the agent was wrong. Whoever that agent was, I'm sorry that they talked to you that way or gave you that information. It was flat out wrong. Now, many times the person misunderstands the agent, but a lot of times it is the agent just trying to say what they need to say to get a lead in there. We'll get them in there. Wade's team will talk them into it. No, we see that a couple times. Also, we go, don't work Joe's deals. Call Joe and say, Joe, we don't go to work for you anymore. Because, Joe, you're misleading the public. See how it works? So we are more than happy to bust our backsides for the people doing it right. This is not a difficult thing. Not a difficult thing. So advertising. If you want to advertise, don't mention our name anywhere. Right? Just have a link to your website. Don't put a logo up. Just have a link to your website. If you feel you need a logo and you feel you need a name, then pull the logo out of the Independent Agent Resource Center, pull a flyer out of that Independent Agent Resource Center and use it. Right? But if not, then get approval from us, but expect some delays. So I say just don't even mention our name. That's the easiest way. If I were going to advertise, as an example, a longevity product, if I was advertising, let's say I'm advertising Vonage phone service. Vonage will not allow us to use their name unless they approve the ad. So rather than waiting a month for Vonage to approve my ad, I could just say simple, inexpensive home-based business phone service. Click here to learn more. And they click and go to the Vonage page. You could say simple and fast business capital, no application fee, no obligation to accept. Click here to learn more. And click them to your website. You don't have to use our name anywhere. Do you understand? When you don't use our name, everything's cool. Now, if you false advertise, whoever you're false advertising to can sue your butt. So don't mislead. Loans, automatic approval. Okay, if they make a decision, like buying a bunch of stuff because you said automatic approval, and then they don't get approved, they can come back after you. So let's be smart. And the odds are it's not going to happen, but I'm just talking about advertising has laws and rules for reasons. False advertisement is a real issue. Also advertising on the telephone. Robo-dialing. You cannot robo-dialing. Robo-dialing is when you leave a voicemail. People will say, oh, all you got to do is you record a message, and I got this dialing system to call and leave that voicemail everywhere to business owners. Okay, that's not allowable. You can get fined for doing that. Well, my upline said I could do it. Well, your upline was not correct. So don't always go to these trainings. That's why we say plug into the source. Go to Wade's training on Tuesday night. Go to my training on Thursday. Go to our webinar on Thursday to make sure what you're hearing is accurate. I love watching people answer in Facebook because we have to delete 1 out of 7 answers because they're not accurate, but they're trying to help. We appreciate that. So I love seeing them answer, but we spend as much time policing the answer as we do answering the original question. Because if the answer is incorrect, it whisper down the lane incorrect. Right? So that's why we ask people, if you have a real question that you want an answer to, email support@davidallencapital.com. Support@davidallencapital.com. It's the best way to get answers, right? Because you're getting answers from the corporate team. Okay? Don't email Wade. Wade's busy. Don't email Wade on, hey, what should I do with this new agent? That's not Wade's job. Wade's job is to help your clients, not answer your questions on what to do with a new agent. That's what you send to support or the person who enrolled you. But advertising, feel free to advertise. Just don't use our name or logo on it anywhere. If you're going to, make sure you're using the independent agent logo. And make sure what you're saying is accurate because you're liable if it's not. And you're putting us at risk if it's not. So if we ever see or hear, and police, by the way, the person who told me about the no credit check was one of our agents, saw that ad and called us and said, hey, by the way, you got an agent who's doing this and this and the other over there. And we contacted him right away and had him pull the ad. So, by the way, we go through that 5 times a month. It's not, if that happened to you, you're not a bad person, okay? Sometimes you make mistakes, but that's why we wanted to do this training. So let's go to your questions. You're probably going, well, I came here to learn strategies for advertising. Okay, I cannot reiterate enough. I'm going to say this and I'll give you an advertising strategy. Number 1 advertising you can do is to the people in your phone. I can't go to my phone because I'm talking to it. In your phone, every one of those people, you advertise by letting them know what you do. That's number 1. If you're beyond that, you're not going to do real well. I'm just telling you. Your lead source is your current relationships. You need to inform. That's better than any newspaper advertisement. It's better than Fox News. It's better than all these other things. We're testing stuff. I'm running newspaper ads to test. Thousands of dollars. Testing Google's thousands of dollars. Facebook, thousands. I'm testing all kinds of things. Why? Because we will find ways that work, but right now what we're finding is ways that don't work. I ran half-page ad, quarter-page ad, business card ad. I've tried them all. You know how many deals I've gotten out of thousands of dollars in newspaper advertisement? 0. Don't do it. It doesn't work. Now, could someone go, I put an ad in my children's yearbook and I got a call. Okay, well, good for you. I remember my first postcard I left at a gas station. I got a call from a landscape company. The first day I ever was involved with my postcards, I said, I'm going to put one on the gas station or a mobile station. And I'm going to put it on the end pump where the big trucks with the landscaping crews come in because it's a business owner. That's where they go to get gas. Oh, I'm brilliant, right? I put a card there and I got a call. I've left probably 300 cards out like that in my lifetime here, just leaving them on gas pumps and leaving them places. Haven't gotten any calls from them. But I did that first day. So I just, it can happen, but don't count on that as your way. Advertising in print, I wouldn't do it. Advertising Google and Facebook, you can do it if you want to do it. I can tell you this, I've been doing it for a while to test, as a test. you don't hear me teaching it. Why don't I teach it? Because the test hasn't proved out well. I'm not saying don't do it, but I probably have had 100 pre-qualifications turn, clicks to become, thousands of clicks into the site, 100 pre-qualifications, and of that, maybe we've gotten 10 packages. There's tire kickers. Tire kickers looking, checking. Half of them are our competition. Half of them are people who just maybe one day will want money. And what they do is they get our team working, and they never even give a package in. So that's what we found. I'm not saying don't do it, but if you're advertising that way and you get packages come in or pre-quals, don't expect it to become a package unless you pick up the phone too and say, hey, you filled out a form. We'll call them and call them and call them. But I don't have a lot of belief and faith in that yet. Now, should you advertise? You can if you want, but I've already said in the training, advertising is low down the list. It's inform everyone you know what you're doing and keep informing them. They got to know you're serious. They got to know you're serious. That's number one. Number two, inform all business owners you know. Number three, start networking, canvassing as a customer. Everywhere you go, you're advertising who you are as you're out and about. You advertise you. You advertise you. You advertise you. Then, if you want to start trying some things out, just know you're risking money to hopefully get a lead. And, I still do the Google. I spend about $100 a month on Google, and I have for years. It's probably for years, meaning 3 years, just testing things. Thousands of clicks. I think maybe 2 or 3 customers in the last 2 years. So not huge, right? Has it paid for itself? Probably. But has it been something that, thank God I did that because it's making me rich? No. Okay, so I'm just being real with you. You may be better at it. Facebook, same thing. In our golf community here, I live in a golf community and I was on the board. And part of me being on the board of our membership was to attract more members. Okay, it's a private membership club. And so we brought in some marketing experts who did social this and social that. And in my mind, I'm going, I don't know that that's going to work. This is what I do. But we hired a consulting firm that could help us with Facebook ads and Google ads and all this. And we spent about $15,000 a year on ads to try to do different things. This is the membership. And we got hundreds of calls. So it did pull people, but it only pulled a few members. And I think that and it paid for itself, but we're not doing it anymore. Not to say it doesn't work. There's people out there make a living. Some of you are probably watching this going, dude, you don't get it. I do social advertising. We do so well. I do this great. If you've got it, then do it. If you can do it without our teaching, do it. We just can't teach it because what we're testing isn't working the same way. So we teach what we know works. Okay, that's all I can say. But you heard me say I'm testing it. I got an ad running in our local paper here. A quarter-page ad cost me $1,100. I'm testing it. I got it going to its own website. I'll know how many people click on it. The last one I ran was $1,100. How many clicks on it? 0. 0 on a half-page ad. 0. So I changed the ad up, running it again, trying it again. I'm testing things we want to teach things, but I would never teach you to do it because I haven't seen success with it. Okay? But more important than anything, compliance. Make sure you're following the compliance. Go back and watch it just from the beginning. Let's go to your questions. Remember, you advertise yourself. That's the key. That's what I want you to get out. Well, Dave, I don't want to do that. Then maybe this isn't for you. Well, I'm going to do advertising. Go for it. Try it. I just can't promise you're going to turn it into I don't want to discourage you. Please don't be discouraged. I'm sharing my experiences. If you feel you've got better advertising ideas and you've got money you want to throw at it, do it. Go for it. I don't want to discourage you, but I want to encourage you to do the activities that's working for the people that are doing the best. They're picking up the phone and calling people and advertising themselves, or they're walking in and handing that postcard out and advertising themselves, or they're networking with groups and advertising themselves, or they're calling everyone in their phone book and telling them they're a business capital agent and advertising themselves, or they're going to Facebook and social networks and typing in that they're on a free post without advertising anything, what they do, and asking people to share it. And they're doing little videos saying, hi, I'm a business capital agent. If you know any business owners out there, we'd love to get them capital. And you copy what I do, but don't use our company name. Otherwise, we have to approve it. Right? You can say I'm an independent agent with David Allen Capital and follow the script and go for it, but don't say anything that's not accurate. Right? And then ask them, hey, please do me a favor and share it. I've gotten several clients from that video I did, right? So do stuff like that. That's how you advertise for free. Use the social networks that exist for free. Your live networks, your telephone networks, your texting networks, your social networks, all are free. They're all free. That's what I would focus on if I were you. And then later on, now, we're working on some things. We're trying to get a national successful advertise. The reason I'm practicing with ads, and we're going to practice with some radio, and we're testing some things because we would like to be able to find a way to create a national campaign that generates a lot of leads for our top agents to work. That's why I'm testing. But we may never find that method. I hear people on Fox News, some of our providers advertising on Fox News for a month and then they're gone. Obviously didn't work. And then I hear others, new ones come along. I go, I'm going to see if they're still advertising 3-4 months from now. If so, then it must be working. If not, it's probably not working. Right? So we're testing things, though, for your behalf. But I've already made it clear on how I think you should advertise. Your phone book, let everyone know in it what you do. Every business owner you know, let them know what you do. Meet, greet, and inform that alternative capital exists. Your social network, go to it, tell everyone, shoot videos, tell everybody. Your Twitters, your LinkedIns, go there and that's where you advertise. You pick up the phone and advertise your business. Made it clear, I hope. I know you mean Kendrick dollars. I'm with you. Go dollar bills. Go dollar bills. Go dollar bills. Good day from Australia. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Brian Thomas in the house. All right, Brian. Wonderful. I'm seeing who's here. A lot of hellos. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Appreciate the love. Whoever just gave a thumbs up. You never know whether people are watching and live or not. Tanya So, a lot of names being tagged. Good, good, good. You're just letting people know what to do and not do. Beautiful. Again, if you're an advertisement person, please don't be discouraged. If you go, Dave, man, I can really help you with this. Good, go prove it. Get a bunch of clients. Tell us how you're doing it. You didn't hear me teaching telemarketing until Matt DeHame went out and made it happen. And then we said, Matt, let's get you on the phone. Right? If you're really good at advertising with your this thing or your that thing, and you can get a lot of leads and it turns into clients, beautiful. The results will speak for themselves and we'll promote the heck out of it. Yes, Kendrick, I agree. Best loyalty going in. Okay, 2,000 drop cards are once a year expense investment. That is the number of the contacts you need to make. Absolutely, Carolyn. No doubt about it. You're right on. You're getting it. You're speaking it. I personally only rely on what I have direct control over. A good business strategy for everyone is leave nothing to chance. I agree. Say yes to everything, especially if it doesn't cost you any money, right? But operate within compliance. Now, I'm not saying phone calls don't cost money, but we've got unlimited calling on our phone service for $35, something like that for Vonage. It's a numbers game. Find inexpensive ways. Yep, I think the most inexpensive ways are the ways I've said, all the free ways, until something comes along that proves up. But again, we're paying for a bunch of ways. So we're trying, and we got geolocators going. We got postcards going. We got, we're going to be doing mailers. We're trying all kinds of things to test things for y'all. But we're not teaching any of them yet, and we've spent thousands on a lot of them. Make your own intro video. Absolutely. I agree. Agree. Good point, Laura. And I don't always see who's making these posts. Sorry. So if I don't comment on your name, I apologize. I happen to see that was Laura. Tagging people. Have a great productive weekend. Yes. Strong start. You bet, Marco. Yeah. Hello, Alabama here. All right, beautiful. I think that's every question. All right. So again, we end with what? Premier business capital provider in North America. That's what we're looking to do. That's what we are doing. We've already set everything up to be that. We're already on pace to make it happen. We already have people like you, leaders who care. You're putting the mission before your commissions. Your commissions will chase you because you spread the mission, right? We're helping fuel the business owners, the greatest men and women out there. They're just like you. You're an entrepreneur, otherwise you wouldn't be here. They're just like you. They just invested a lot of money. They put a lot of money into that business. They've given up all their guarantee of income to run that establishment, man. Let's help them out. Let's give them capital to grow that business. They don't know we exist. And if they know we exist, what comes next? If they know we exist, if they know alternative capital exists, then what? If they know alternative capital exists, then what? Then they need to know that David Allen Capital is a one-stop shop that represents all of them. So one-stop best offer, one-stop best offer, one-stop best offer. Again, what is it? They need to know alternative capital exists because they're the brilliant business owners of the world and they're employing the future of the world, future of America. We need to give them the capital they need to grow. They need to know we exist. If they already know alternative capital exists, then one-stop best offer, one-stop best offer. They need to know that. When they know those two things, guess what they know? If they have an opportunity, they're coming to you. If they have a need, they're coming to you. They're not going to one of those other alternative providers because one-stop best offer. That may not be the best offer. They need to know that. So those are the only two things you got to do. Let them know we exist. If they go, oh yeah, I already know about alternative capital, great, then know this. We represent all the top providers. One-stop best offer, one-stop best offer. Got it? Man, this is so easy. We're fueling the business owners of America, soon the world. But let's take care of America. Let's document. Then we'll duplicate the process into other parts of the world. And I'd love to get down under. I'd love to be Australia. I'd love to be Europe, all that stuff. But right now, Michigan needs where I can be without spending a lot of money, without having to travel across the world. Michigan, we've already got everything set up, needs to know this. And so does your town, in your state, in your country. One-stop best offer. We don't pull your credit many times. Thank you. Thank you, whoever posted that. Laura, thank you. Yeah, you're right. One-stop best offer, one pull, right? And many times only a soft pull. So again, well, I'm not going to go through the whole process. You can watch the other thing to get the process. But yeah, if you want to go get offers from 5 different providers and you're a business owner and you call that provider directly, they're going to do a credit pull. And then you call that provider to see if it's any good, they're going to do a credit pull. And you call that one, they're going to do a credit pull. Just like getting a mortgage. You go to Quicken, they're going to do a credit pull. You want to buy a car and you go to Cadillac and they're going to do a credit pull. You go to Lincoln, they're going to do a credit pull. You go to Mercedes, they're going to do it. That's 3 credit pulls. Your credit score is up. Because you had 3 credit pulls trying to figure out what the best price is on a car. That's the issue with this. We fixed that. One-stop best offer, 1 credit pull. One-stop best offer, 1 credit pull. You got it. Free application, no obligation. Free application, no obligation. These are just some taglines that you want to say. One-stop best offer, free application, no obligation. Free application, no obligation. Free application. See, we're fine-tuning. That just came up last week. We never said that until last week. My gosh, we're getting better and better and better and better. Gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day, everybody. Love y'all. Get out there and help businesses and encourage your agents. Encourage they plug into training. Encourage, encourage, encourage. I appreciate y'all. Have a great day.